Okay, so I hid the relationship, Shift R. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say select chain. I'm going to right click, say select chain. And if there's only one break, it's going to show all of the segments. And so that's not a big surprise. So then what you do is you delete one of the segments. And then you say select chain with the intent of undoing after. Then I say select chain. And then it should show me where the problem is. But in this case, it goes the whole way. So that tells me that the one that I deleted is the problem. So like if I delete this one instead, and then I select chain, it'll show me where I'm not connected. And it's going to make a liar out of me. But is it here maybe? I don't understand why it wanted to do 8th and... Okay, well anyway, undo. Okay. I mean, alright. Here's a new version of it that I just thought of. Select chain, delete. Yes, A for yes to all. And then if I... Is that 2 lines? That looks like it's 2 lines. What's going on here? No. That's not what I was going to do. I was going to say, now if I do X for extrude. Why, okay. I don't know why it's telling me that that's a thin. Is it not a thin? Oh, it's not a thin. Why is it goofy preview? Must be related to the fact that it's flashing black. Not sure, but usually the preview looks like solid yellow, not like an outline of yellow. That looks like a thin feature preview, but thin feature is not checked here, so therefore it tells me it's not. So it's probably fine. And so how thick do I want this thing to be? I can't have it too thick because there's gaps in the rivet. I don't have one in the house. It's probably, I think if I go 1/4 inch or 5/16, 0.31, I'm going to say 5/16 should be narrow enough. And if it's not, I can just cut it with some cutters to make it narrow enough at the end. So I'm going to go 0.31, which 0.3125 is 5/16. I'm going to make that midplane. I'm not sure which is going to be more advantageous. Midplane. I generally like to go midplane. And also because what's going to happen here is I'm going to mirror this across this. And then I need to... Is that what I want to do? No. No, I could mirror it and then subtract and then work on both sides, but why would I do that? Instead, I will work on this side and then do a rotate feature, and that way I only have to modify this once and not duplicate it for the other one. So, what I was thinking is it might have made sense to do it, but no, I already disagree with myself, which is fine. Alright, so I need to, again on this plane, create a sketch. And circle will do. Be a couple circles. Trim. And I am going to cut this away, like so. But I also need to go back this direction. Just a tiny gap. I'm going to say, I want 20 thousandths gap, so I want to say 10 thousandths. Because it's going to effectively sort of mirror. It's going to be a circular pattern. There'd be opposite hand feature. I feel like going the other direction, not that it really matters, but just for the sake of visibility. And I am going to go ahead and I'm going to create an axis here to revolve around. So I select the 2 planes, Control / on the numpad is my axis, create axis. It's my shortcut. Let me know if you want my shortcuts. I have custom shortcuts that work very efficiently for me. And so now I have this axis, and then I'm going to do a revolve circular pattern. That axis predefined. Body's this guy, not 4, 2. Okay. Yeah. So I just realized that I messed that up because I didn't want 2 circles here. I wanted 1 circle here. So I'm just going to do Eh. And one circle, and we'll call it 30 thousandths. All right, so now we have the two halves. We have a bit of a gap, and when I pull the handles together, the wedges will go together, right? Except for I don't have a hinge yet, right? So what I need to do now is, and I can go back to before this. It'll save me a couple steps, and so I need a sketch here, and go to normal here. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to make this sketch visible, and then I'm going to project this circle with a G. Convert geometry is the actual command. I think it's called project in like Inventor or something I used a bit before Solidworks and after AutoCAD. And I think it was project, and so I made it, I don't know, G. I don't know why I made it G. Whatever. So maybe it was by default G. So now I know what size that I'm working with. I'm gonna make this construction, and I'm gonna hide sketches just because I can. And that's not exactly perfect, but it's gonna be fine. So I need to. All right, that's what I'm gonna do here. So I'm going to put a center line here, and a rectangle here. This is a little trick that I use. A rectangle here, and a rectangle here, and then I trim this, and that gives me this sort of hat section. And I will put this, actually I want to do two of them. No, I don't. I'm going to trim that. I'm going to put this to here. I'm going to extend this to here. I am going to put this guy, let's say, here. And this guy is going to be like here. And let's say this will be, this doesn't need to be very tall. This can be, I mean, what's my layer thickness is going to be 0.2 millimeters. So that's 8 thousandths. So 5 layers would be a millimeter. That's probably fine. 0.04 is basically a millimeter. 0.0397, whatever it is. And then I'm going to make this collinear without edge. Did I not? I missed the button. Okay. And let's give this overhang. We don't need much. Let's just call it, another millimeter is fine. And let's call this diameter inch. That should be fine. And then I am going to mirror. This about this. Some people might say, you have to mirror in a feature because it's better, because that's what they were told. Listen, don't believe everything you think. It's situational. Tiny part like this ain't going to make squat of a difference, for one thing. So you just go in what's quicker to model, not what's more efficient to compute. It's situational. Very situational. Okay, mirror entities, and pre-select this guy and revolve it around here, and uncheck merge. And so now what I need to make a copy of this to modify to use as a subtractor, not to be confused with the farm equipment that goes underwater. And so anyway, move copy bodies. This guy, make a copy, and hide the first one. Hide that guy. So this is the copy. And so what I know I want to do, let's hide this guy too. And so what I want to do is do a move face here, here, here. I think 0.02 on all of them should be good. It's probably a little much for the... That's probably about right, as a matter of fact. That's probably about right, 0.02. So that's halfway there. Do I have enough overlap now? I think I want to make that overlap a little more. Yep, yep. Let's make this 0.06 then. Yeah, it's a little more, 0.07. All right, so now S for save, and I didn't even tell it. That's funny. I was totally not paying attention. Didn't save yet. So let's see. Pliers, plastic, rivets. Okay. And so I will show this guy. And I will subtract, combine, subtract style from the main body to combine this, uncombine it, whatever you want to call it, Boolean subtract, and basically what it is. This looks a little flimsy, but I think it's fine. For the application, it's just popping out a little plastic rivet. So I think it's going to be plenty strong, especially because I'm going to make it out of nylon, I think. Interesting. Maybe I'll make the first one out of PLA and try it, just because I don't know about the overhang, about the, print-in-place flexibility hinge type features with nylon. I don't think I've tried that yet. You know what? I guess there's no time like the present. And you know what's funny is when I do PLA Solidworks videos and prints, I get almost no views. And if I put like nylon or something, I get 1 million views. Well, no, I wish I got 1 million views. I get like 100 views or a couple hundred views. And so maybe I will do a nylon just to be clickbait purveyor. Exaggerated. Okay, and so now if I go to the end, if I roll to the end, now I have both pieces. Did you catch that? I rolled back to do that, and that way, so when I patterned it, they came out like this. That's what I did. And anyway, so, but I need to bring the hinge back. So this actually didn't take very long to do. Let's make this a little more comfy. Oh, I now remember, I want a spring. I want a built-in spring mechanism to open it back up for myself. And so in order to do that, how did I want to do that? I was thinking somewhere in here. Well, let's just make a sketch and start laying something on. Alright, so I put a sketch on there. And I mean, I could do something like, but I also don't want it to break, right? I want something to be flexible enough to not break. And so in order to do that, what can I do for that? I mean, I could have something with sort of hinge pins that allow it to work better without, sort of reduce the stress. So like if I had sort of an arc like this, or even like this, and there was a hinge here and here, then that would allow that to pivot. That would allow the ends to pivot, therefore evenly distributing, decreasing the radius of this arc. I think that's probably my best bet, even though I don't feel like making another hinge because I'm lazy. But it really wasn't difficult, right? And really, I can even potentially cheat a little bit. But I don't even know if it's worth cheating. So what I mean by cheating is I could just copy this guy to there. Yeah, that's probably actually a little quicker. I'm going to, I can't do that. Just trying to know what I was thinking there. But basically I'm going to go to like here. So if I create a line from here to here, and make this perpendicular, and make this on the midpoint there. And so I'm probably going to have to beef this up a little bit so they don't break when I squeeze them. Something like what did that do? So I'll probably do something like this to that handle. I'll go back into earlier and probably do that just to give this a little reinforcement here. And just to preserve, so I can still use this as projection, construction geometry, I'm going to, if I mirror, if I make symmetrical these two circles in this line, dummy. I'm surprised the blacking out thing hasn't been throwing me off. If I make those symmetrical, then that's much better. Alright, and I can use this later as a guide for my shape. I could actually just do that now. Why don't I just do that now? I will do this. I'll make these construction. Then I am going to extrude this thin, and I'm going to say mid-plane. I'm going to say 0.19. Can I make these ends rounded like automatically? I guess not. Auto fillet corners. Oops. 0.09. Yeah, that's not exactly what I want. Why did that not? That's fine. I'm going to. I probably should have just done this in the first place. Instead of a thin, I should have just done this in the first place, but this will work. So I'm going to extrude down to here and merge result, and that's going to merge all this together, which I didn't really want to do because I forgot to put the gap. Once I get rid of the gap, once I add a gap, an offset, then it will not be joined as one. So I want to put an offset here of 0.02, which is sort of my go-to number for for print and place hinge type stuff and supports. It breaks apart pretty easily if you do 0.02, I find, especially with PLA. Anyway, at least PLA. I need to flip the offset. Oh. Yeah, I was thinking about that wrong. Incorrectly. So from sketch plane and offset, excuse me, from surface. And that offset should be, no, I meant to say offset from surface, and that offset should be 0.02. And, okay, that way. And then, so now that I merge it, now they are separate entities. And they're not. Oh, I messed that up. Because this should have been, okay. I followed that out. But anyway, so this should have been, this is what I thought I was editing. And then I confused myself. So that is offset by 20 thousandths. That way. So now there's a gap there. Now it's correct. Other than this kind of goofiness going on with that, but they end up at the same place, so that's fine. And so what I want to do is I'm going to copy this guy, and then I am going to I'm just thinking what order I want to do. I know what I want to do. I'm just going to think of what order to do them. And so I'm going to say move this guy, not a copy, to constraints, and like that to like that. It's what do you call it? Concentric. All right. Now, obviously, it's too big, but I can do a non-uniform scale to get it to a more appropriate size. And I also need to join it up to here. But anyway, so I'm just going to project, no. I'm just going to project this geometry And so now I can rebuild that. I'm going to turn my sketches on to see that center point. I'm going to use that to create a coordinate system to scale the piece by. There's my coordinate system, and my cat is outside meowing, wants to come in. He's always in and out, in and out, in and out, and he can wait. He's a good kitty though, Godzilla. What the hell?